Hi, my name is John Snyder. We're going to continue with the classification. So what we're going to do today is the sedimentation test, but the first part is a passing 200 sieve test is an easy way to do it. So I'm going to take some soil. Step one is to get it damp to moist, basically moist but not sticky. So I've got it a little bit moist. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a square or a cube. And I'm going to try to make this about the size of a sugar cube. So make it square. So here, I've got it about the size of a sugar cube or a die. So I'm going to use the number 200 sieve as my sieve. 200 sieve again is the dividing line between everything on top is a sand or gravel, everything below is fine. So this one you can buy from a store. It's a Humboldt. But you can also make your own. This is from Amazon. It's a 200 sieve, and I just used a plastic, so it's the same concept. Again, to remind it, when you look at the finest sand that sits on number 200 sieve, that's as small as your eye can see. So if you can see the grain, individual grain, it's a 200 sieve. And when I put it on, I know that this sits on a number 200. It feels very fine. It's the same as number 200 sandpaper. So we're going to commit this to memory. Okay, this is about this big. I'm going to think a dice. If I really wanted to measure, I could come here and it's almost 2 centimeters wide. So I made a 2 centimeter cube. I already know the answer. This is actually a SC, but if I didn't know, I'd come here. So I'm going to just go very slowly. I'm going to wash this. So if you're in the field, you use a little bit of water and just kind of wash it slowly. So I'm going to wash this, and all the clay and silt is being washed through the number 200 sieve. Everything on top I feel is gritty. I'm just going to slowly wash. So this is basically the same test you do in the lab, but they do it on dry samples. We're doing it on a moist sample. And you can see the dirt here is kind of coming through. See the dirt, it's kind of, every once in a while I get it, you can see how murky it is. So we're just washing it through, and the soil that's coming through here, that's the silt and clay that you can see in my palm of my hand. And the material on top, it's getting clearer and clearer because that's just sand. So the trick is don't put too much water in here. And again, if I didn't have this, I could just use this one here. This one cost, I think, $30, $40. This cost me probably 50 cents. And again, you can get that on Amazon. So I'm pretty sure it's fairly clean. I'm just gonna kind of wash it again. If you're using one of these lab sieves, you don't want to stretch the fabric too much. So I got it fairly clean. So now I'm just gonna get rid of the water. And I want to try to put it back into the same cube. Now, obviously it's so sandy I can't get it. But I can kind of guesstimate based on what I can see. So it's about two. Oh, that's two. It's about 2 centimeters wide. And just looking at it, I know what it looked like when it was a cube. And just by eyeball, I can tell there's maybe 70% of the sand that's still there. So this would be 70% sand. And 30% would be fine. So because there's more sand and gravel than there is silt and clay, this would be a sand first. And when I felt it, it was a little bit sticky, so that's the clay portion. So it would be a SC or a clay sand.